pride is never an attractive quality. Whether it is in a marriage, whether it is in the workplace, whether it's on a team, whether it's in a friendship. We want the credit, we want the attention, we want the glory. You say, well, we all have those moments. But the longer you choose to stay on the path to pride, the more frequent prideful outbursts will occur. And the more difficult it is for you to find your way back to the road of humility. Recently, Tiger Woods opened up and he talked about his fall from grace and his battle with pride. Talked about what happened back in 2009, and I was intrigued by what he said. He said, I knew my actions were wrong, but I convinced myself that normal rules didn't apply to me. I thought only about myself. I thought I could get away with whatever I wanted to. I felt I was entitled. I was wrong. I was foolish. If you want a game plan or you want a strategy for how to pursue pride, there's the strategy. You just do that and you will be well on your way to the road to pride. You see, that's the result of it too, though. The result is I was wrong. I was foolish. And we've become a culture that feels entitled. And you can follow the crowd and that is where it leads. Pride allows you to fit in with the culture, but Jesus Christ didn't die for you to blend in. Jesus died for you to stand out. In Matthew chapter 23, it's called the 7 denunciations of Jesus. He gives a scathing rebuke to a group of the religious leaders. He calls them out for their pride and hypocrisy. And he tells the crowd, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. And at the center of Christ's anger and at the center of Christ's frustration is the way that they worried about how everyone perceived who they were and what they were like. Their perception to others was paramount to them. That was more important than what they were like on the inside. And I find it really interesting that when it comes to pride, Jesus' main rebuke wasn't of those outside of faith. It was of those who were inside the faith. In Jesus' story, the prodigal son, he doesn't call it the story of the prodigal son. That's what your Bible says in the heading. And that's interesting to differentiate because there are two brothers, and both of them are sinners, and both of them are away from their father. One of them is rebellious in his sin. The other is self-righteous in his sin. And the self-righteousness is equally disconcerting to the father. The father is consumed with making certain that they are all in a right relationship. The older brother, who is self-righteous, is consumed with what's right in the eyes of others. He can't even rejoice when his rebellious brother comes back home. There's a dramatic transformation, and he's not even happy when he comes back. You see, pride can lead to jealousy. Pride can lead to all sorts of division. Pride can lead to the comparison game. Author and pastor John Ortberg facetiously says, I'd like to be humble, but what if no one notices? And we understand what he's saying. When we are overlooked, we have this tendency to call attention to it, and we want to sound the trumpet and toot our own horn so that others know of our accomplishments and our connections. If you pursue pride, your witness to others is going to suffer. I mean, it has to. If we are to imitate Jesus, and he came to serve and not be served, he came to seek and save that which was lost, then it stands to reason that our testimony and our witness is very important. When someone is asked, why did you start going to CCV? Can I tell you the response that you will never hear? When you ask somebody, well, why'd you start going to CCV? Here's what you will never hear a person say. Well, we had several neighbors on our street who all went to CCV, and they feel like they're so much better than we are, and they always talk so condescendingly to us, and so we were just drawn. We were just drawn to come. I mean, it's so refreshing to think that by attending, perhaps we also could grow in our arrogance and make other people feel unworthy around us. No, that would be ridiculous. No one would say that. But here's what they might say when you say, why'd you start going to CCV? Well, I work at a cubicle, and my cubicle mate is someone who, it turns out, goes to CCV. And when they talk to their spouse on the phone, they talk with such kindness, they talk with such love. Or maybe it's someone saying, I work with this person who goes to CCV, and I've watched them from a distance, and I see they pick up litter. If I'm in the bathroom after them, they've wiped the counter as clean as can be. Well, whatever they can do to serve, nothing is beneath them. So Christians, beware. People are watching you. A haughty attitude and arrogant spirit can cause people to go the opposite direction from Christianity. You see, piety turns people off from the gospel message. And we must recognize that if we feel superior to others because of our religious behavior, then we probably have just that, a religion rather than a relationship with Jesus Christ.